Hello guys. So today I really wanted to talk about the art of noticing, and I touched on this briefly in a recent video, but where we lay our focus and put our attention and energy into, we feed. And this can be as simple as noticing the bird song and then it becomes all that we can hear, or as large as noticing bad people, paying attention to bad people, and then they show up everywhere we go. The art of noticing is something that we should spend a whole lifetime cultivating. And it's funny because what actually led me to choose this topic seconds before I pressed record was the reflection in my window. There's this light behind me, this light, and then the plant and the way it looks. I realised I could either focus on the shadow, the outline, the darkness of the plant, or I could focus on the orange warm light. And it made me think about how that can apply to every single part of our lives. There are some days when I wake up, and I'll be real, currently a lot of days when I initially wake up, it's easy to start looking at the shadows, start looking at the darkness, because it's been raining for weeks here in the UK, and so it's quite grey and dull and dark when you wake up. So you really want to reframe these things and focus on what you can that's positive. So for example, the sound of rain is obviously a really, really beautiful sound, and the birds still sing even when it's grey and rainy outside. They still fly, they still sing, and I think we can learn a lot from them. The way that they continue to soar even when the conditions seem less favourable than a warm sunny day. I think the rainy weather makes me look within for the warmth inside of myself. And I don't believe that life necessarily tests us, but I do believe there are a lot of lessons we can take from the experiences we go through in life. And as someone who, if I could, I would have sun every single day. The rain does require some imagination. It requires some imagination in order for me to still fill my day with light regardless of the grey outdoors. Sometimes it feels like the sun didn't rise at all. And on those days I have to cultivate the feeling of sun within me and within my space, whether that's in my outfits or my warm drinks or my summery foods or comedy that I watch, or like with my decoration in my room. Keep things bright and colourful even when outdoors suggests otherwise. I think this ties into the art of curation. We curate our thoughts, we curate our spaces, the music we listen to, the people we interact with, the activities we partake in throughout the day, the way we show up to our responsibilities in life, the way we express ourselves. Sometimes it's easy when it's raining to fall into a victimized state or mindset, where it's like, this rain is just happening to me, this rain is happening to me, I really want it to stop. And I would love the rain to stop. I'll be real, I'd love to wake up tomorrow and it's sunny, bikini weather. I know those days will come. The more we want for something that we don't currently own or have in our direct environment, the more suffering we cause for ourselves. So, funnily enough, while wishing for sun, as much as that's a perfectly okay thing to wish for and to long for, in a way, we are giving so much power to the rain, giving so much power to the grey. Because when something takes such a big hold over us, it's not because that thing is powerful. It's because we are powerful enough to make it powerful, to give it power over us. How we react is everything. And again, as much as I would love it to be 28-degree heat right now, I mean, that would be weird at 8 p.m, 9 p.m, half 9 p.m, but as much as I would love that, that's not what's currently going on. So either I completely submit to the rain and I wear waterproofs and I go out and I splash in puddles and I lay there and let the rain wash over me, or I light candles and read by a window listening to the rain sounds. I can either do that, or if I really want to feel like it's summer, I pull the blind. I create a world in my space where it is summer, because we are in control enough to do that. If I can't see the rain, I can't hear the rain, then is it raining? Not in my current reality. And if I'm playing bossa nova and I'm dancing and I'm having a mocktail, is it summer? As far as I'm concerned, yeah. Maybe a little hot water bottle to mimic the warmth. Reality really does bend and shape and mould to whatever we decide. We are never really weak. We're never really hopeless. We're never really helpless. There's always something we can do to either change our circumstances to make them more desirable, or to submit to what currently is, and to let go of that wanting for change. Because as long as we need something, we can never really have it. And to chase for a lifetime the things we don't have isn't the way I want to live. And I like to work towards things and have things to look forward to. But as cliche as it may sound, all we have is now, and all we'll ever have is now. And if we're currently constantly unsatisfied, dissatisfied, and complaining and just longing for anything other than the current circumstances, then that's how we will have spent our whole lives, because right now is our whole lives as far as we're concerned. The way that you hold yourself, the way you speak to yourself in your head, the way you either dress for comfort or because you want to feel extra special, the way that can sometimes be the same thing. Sometimes I just feel my best when I'm in exactly what I'm wearing now, just the most comfortable clothes ever. I think also the content we choose to give our attention to is really important. The things we read, the videos we watch, the music we listen to. Our subconscious mind is fertile soil, and what we plant there will grow eventually in time. There are things that we will be actively planting there, the things we choose to read and the things we choose to watch, the conversations we choose to partake in. And there'll be things that grow there because we're in a cafe and there's a song on the radio and the lyrics are about XYZ. And we'll have less control over these little things that might sneak into there. But fear not, because we are the ones with the garden shears, and we can cut out anything that doesn't serve our higher good, our greater good. It can take time, it can happen in an instant. It really is up to you. Some things that have been in there for 20 years can be gone like this if we decide and believe and know. And other things that have recently been planted could take a lifetime. It really just depends. It's quite fun. Sometimes I fall into a frustrated trap of feeling like my subconscious is something that I'm fighting against. Something that I have to win a battle against. But the reality is my subconscious isn't my enemy. My subconscious is the gateway to everything that I've ever wanted and everything I've ever known and everything that will happen in my life. The sooner we can make friends with our subconscious and be patient with it, persist, and make a space where we are relaxed enough to converse with it and plant new seeds that serve us in better ways, we'll realise that it's actually a very, very fun game that we get to play here. A very fun game where you don't need anything outside of yourself in order to have everything you've ever desired. Once you know it in the mind and you felt it in the body, it shall be yours. It already is. And this practice, make it fun. I have often fallen into the trap of making this a very tedious practice where I get frustrated and I almost feel overwhelmed by all the conditioning of my past and everything that I wish I could just remove from my subconscious so I could have a fresh slate and just put all the stuff I want in there. But we are here for a reason, and there are certain things we are going through for a reason. To unlearn things that no longer serve us is an act of self-love, and we build trust within ourselves through this process, so it serves a purpose. It's not just a hindrance. It's fun that we can get really, really relaxed into a theta brain state, and we can think of stories in our heads and things we want and feel intense emotion, and then all of a sudden it's in front of us. That's fun. That's a fun thing. And I hope that we continue to make it a fun thing, because the journey is everything. The journey is maybe the whole point. It's really cool to, when you're in the right space, to look at things that you see every day. I'm currently looking at this hanging decoration in my room, and it's like little fabric things hanging on a beaded piece of string with a bell at the bottom, and it's something that I normally just see and I think, oh, that's cute, or don't even pay any attention to. But if you choose to look at something with heart and with awareness and with patience and loving eyes, and you can see the hands that made it. You can see the smiles when they got the stitching right. You can see the careful picking of the beads and how the bell sounds without even ringing it. Imagination isn't something for children. Imagination is a creative tool, and it should be respected as much as it should be playful and fun. It should be respected because it has the ability, it is the way to change everything as we know it in an instant. There is no set time that it takes. It takes as long as it takes, and that can be as fast as slow. But seeing as time doesn't really exist, there's no need to wait for what we want. Just trust. Yeah. I'm gonna make it my goal for the rest of the week to keep noticing things. Things that make me feel light and happy and good and free and safe and warm, and less time giving my attention to the things that make me feel dense and heavy and dark and sad and scared, because that doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't do anything for anyone. It can be an addictive thing because it almost feels like safety to the subconscious if it's something that we've been doing for our whole lives. Sometimes the bravest thing that we can do is pay attention to everything that fills us with hope.